Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. Oh man. Yo. All right, all right. You know what's wild? It always takes me a few minutes to get the audio levels set, although I never change anything. But it sounds weird to me as I'm monitoring. But yes, it's Friday. It's the freaking weekend. We made it through another week, and I'm happy to see all of you here. I'm happy to be here, and I'm glad. I'm grateful for so many things, so many blessings. But I have one more thing to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. This weekend is my 1 year anniversary. Does not seem like it's been a year. So shout out to my beautiful wife. Man, had you told me I'd have got married again, I'd have been like, you crazy. Never gonna happen. Not gonna be my story. But you know how you say, the moment you start saying never, the minute life, the universe, God, whatever else starts challenging you. All right. For a question of the day, I struggle with this one because yesterday was a really good show, and I try to do weekly streams based around the same topic because I don't like to jump all over the place. So what you're going to get from me is a lot of series and connective tissues as we build this organism, this thing. And so I want to do a continuation of yesterday. And let's just do a quick recap of yesterday. We talked about the turning dreams into reality, but we talked about the brain, the mind. And the brain is basically, I called it a switcher yesterday because I'm in video production. You know, when you YouTube and you learn video production, I did it as a freelancer for years. And so a switcher is a box that takes all the inputs from the cameras, the microphones, and it receives the signals and turns it down into one output. You could also say the brain is like a computer. Most people use that example. The two parts of the mind, the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. The subconscious mind is the autopilot, it's the natural programming, the thing that happens behind the scenes where you don't have to think about. How we breathe is just as automated as tying your shoes now. Remember when you first got your license or you got your permit, you would get in the car and you put it in gear, you check your mirror, you put your turn signal on before you changing lanes. You gave a lot of space. You did a lot of things by the book because you had to learn how to do it. But once you learn how to do it, man, you got a cup in one hand on the steering wheel, you turn the radio up. You're doing a lot of things. You're driving all aggressively, tailgating, swerving, no signal, because it went on autopilot. It went into the subconscious mind where your conscious mind didn't have to think about it. In your conscious mind, that's more of the active mind, the part of you that is always thinking, that is always figuring. So for those of you who can't follow the video production example, think of it as a computer. Your brain itself is the computer. The subconscious mind is the OS, or the operating system, and the conscious mind are your apps, your Word documents, your movie programs. And so what we have to do is every so often go in and clean out the hard drive. Every so often we got to get some viruses removed, some Trojan horses from some site we done picked up. Get some of those cookies washed away. We have to do that. That's called reprogramming. And so part of what I want to do for today is not just work on the reprogramming of the mind itself, but I want you to understand who exactly you are. We have this thing where we're not going to let people talk to us crazy. We're not going to let people talk to us any kind of way. The irony of it is we talk to ourselves any kind of way. My wife gets on me all the time about some of the things that I say to myself. Like I'll be doing something and I can't get it right, and I'll be like, I suck. And my wife says, stop talking about my husband like that. Shout out, baby. Appreciate it. That chick, yo. Appreciate it. It's been a year. And it was a great wedding. It was a great time. We went to Jamaica. We spent 10 days with family, friends, and we created some memories that will definitely last a lifetime. And I asked my wife a couple weeks ago, I said, hey, babe, anniversary's coming up. What you want to do? You know what she said? We trying to buy a house. We ain't doing nothing. We trying to buy a house. And I was like, yes, ma'am. I get it. You know, priorities. So as we go into today, for a question of the day, I wanted to serve as our topic of the day as well. Do you believe in coincidence? Do you believe in coincidences? Another word would be luck, providence, chance. Do you believe some things just happen out of sheer smoke, dust, vapors, luck? I mean, we did discuss yesterday about kind of getting pregnant. Oh, it was a coincidence. I got lucky and got pregnant. I don't truly believe in consequences. I do believe in consequences. I don't truly believe that coincidences are a real thing. However, I do believe that you can stack the deck. You can put things in order that will give you a higher chance of accomplishing what you want or getting the outcome that you want. Oh, divine order, brick by brick. Yes, sir. I do believe in divine order. I do believe in divine order. I think if one of the things that puzzle me the most is that people, because they hope for the best, they want better outcomes, they start wishing, they start treating God like Santa Claus. And they don't realize that, I think the scripture says, a man that don't work don't eat. And I think everybody that's here, everybody that's made it to this planet, to this space of existence, we're all greatness. We're all goats. We were all the best in our class. Now, necessarily mean your high school class, college class. Some of you were. I definitely wasn't. Did not like school, but I've always loved to learn. School never interests me, but I'll find a good book on some historical thing or some scientific thing, and I would be engaged like no other. My teachers couldn't understand it. They thought I was just being disrespectful when I'd be in class daydreaming, thinking about stuff that I learned before I got to school. So yeah, I'm not sure if I believe in coincidences. But what I will say is this. If we are if we are if we're going to be in a a space of rebuilding, we can't believe in coincidence. We got to believe more in probability or divine order. So brick by brick, shout out to you, my brother. You hit it right on the head. So as we get going today, if you don't know who I am, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Jamon, and I am a certified personal and development coach. Been in the parenting and fatherhood spaces for 10 plus years. I am an author, speaker, dad, pawpaw. Do a little bit of everything, man. I am a creative. I love storytelling. I love creating. I like the creation process from concept to action to execution and to results. Oh, I'm also one of the top rated speakers in the state of North Carolina. So that's just a little bit who I am. But before we get too deep into it, it's Friday, it's the weekend, but we need to get into these gratitudes. I'm feeling good. I hope you are. But let's see if we can't make it just a little bit better. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be able to see a new day. I'm grateful to have the favor over my life that I have. I'm grateful to have family and friends that care about me, that respect me, that cherish me, that love me. I'm grateful for a job to go to so I can provide for my family. I'm grateful for the will to move, to be, to strive. I'm grateful for all the things that I've learned, good and bad. I'm grateful for the person that is me. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I get to experience life another day. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the trials, the people that tried to stop me. I'm grateful that they could not break me. I'm grateful that I am an overcomer. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I am me. All right. Got them gratitudes out the way. I promise you guys. I know I used to think it was corny to do stuff like this. But you don't know what you don't know. Somebody had been telling me to do these gratitudes anytime that I felt down, anytime that something was coming against me, if I want to change my mental space, start really thinking about what you have to be grateful for. And you could change how you feel in an instant. And I didn't truly believe it until I saw an ex-girlfriend. She was fire mad with me. I don't know, I forget what I did, but she was hot with me. But then her homegirl walked into the room and she switched. She was smiling. She was trying to play it off. I'm just like, this chick really acting. And then it dawned on me. We really can control how we react, how we feel, how we move if we want to. So I decided to stop being or wanting to be a victim, wanting to be offended, wanting to be standoffish. I'm going to be who I want to be. I'm going to be who I am, who I deserve to be. And I'm not faking it. If I want to be bothered, I want to be bothered. Yeah. But if I want to be bothered, if I want to be in community, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to bring my full self. So, topic of the day, question of the day. Do you believe in coincidence? Divine order. That was a good one, brick by brick. I want to tell you a story real quick. And it's going to center somewhat around how I met my wife. I was working as a production assistant in this production company here in Durham. The doorbell rings. I look around the corner to see who was coming in. And when my wife walked in, I didn't know at the time she was going to be my wife, but I was hopeful. I was very hopeful because she was the most beautiful woman that I'd ever seen in that space. There was just something about her that attracted me in a way that I had never really experienced before. Now, don't get me wrong. I've seen some beautiful women and I've gotten kind of caught up. But with her, it was different. All I could do in that moment was just speak to her and see if there was any kind of chemistry there. She spoke back. There was a smile, gave me a little encouragement to say, okay, maybe something. But the only problem was I was in another relationship. Yeah, so was she. So fast forward about 3 years. Three solid years. I ran into her once, maybe in all of that time. And then just out of the blue, a coincidence. We ended up in the same space working. And at this time, we both were going through some separations and not really looking for like a serious relationship or marriage. However, there was something between us, some chemistry, some energy, something that made me want to spend all my free time with her. Do things, provide, be whatever she needed me to be, and vice versa. There was just something about it. And I can't honestly tell you exactly what it was in at least during that time. But it's energy. It's energy. So going back to the whole coincidence thing, and I use the example of you can't kind of get pregnant. Getting pregnant is not a easy thing to do. I know it may seem like it sometimes, but there's this. I want to share this video, and it talks about the journey of the sperm cell. And when I tell you this is wild, I had seen it before, but y'all listen to this.
Sperm are foreign to a woman's body and are treated as unwanted invaders. Her immune system is triggered to kill them. Once they enter the cervix, they are in a labyrinth of dead ends. Perfect for an ambush. White blood cells attack the sperm from all directions. By the time any survivors reached the safety of a fallopian tube, of the original 250 million, there could be as few as 20 left.
250 million. Y'all hear that? 250 million sperm cells are released, but about 20 actually make it to the egg. Because the vagina has immune defenses that attack anything that's foreign. So when I say you were the first in your class, not joking, you were the best out of 250 to 300 million of the little sperm cells. And then of the 12 to 20 that actually make it to the egg, you have to be on the right frequency for you to be concepted. So this is when I say I don't necessarily believe in coincidence, but I believe in probability, and I also do believe in divine order. However, with probability, I think you stacking the deck. Stacking the deck is the point that I really want to get to today. If you want to change the way you see the world, the way you think about things, if you want to change the results that you have been getting or you haven't been getting, you have to stack the dope, especially if you are doing this plus 30, plus 40, because you have a lifetime of memories, habits, programming. Because when that sperm cell merges with that egg, genetic history is programming, the operating system. So whatever family genetic structure, the way you think, the way your hairline grows, recedes, whatever programming you get from your parents, that's the first level. Then there's the community around you, your culture is programming you. And what happens when you become 21, 22, and you've grown up in an environment that wasn't result oriented, and you just drifted, just floated, and you didn't take anything serious, and you kind of find yourself behind the power curve, behind your peers. I'm saying that because that's where I found myself. That's where I found myself. But I knew deep down I was supposed to live a much better life. I was supposed to do better things. But for some reason, I couldn't help myself. My programming was so strong that I half did everything. I showed up, but did just enough. I did enough not to get fired, but not enough to really get promoted. And then I decided I want to start my own business. I ain't got to work for nobody else. But little did I know, if you're not a good follower, you're probably not going to be a good leader. If you're not a good employee, you're probably going to fail as the owner. Unless you just become self-employed and you create your own job. But even then, there's so much responsibility that's going to depend on your habits. So as adults, we have to not just learn, but unlearn and relearn. I forget the guy's name. He wrote a book called Unlearn. Let me see if I can do a quick search on my phone because I have an Audible library. It's not sure my Audible library. Yep, I have an Audible library that's kind of ridiculous. I mean, I got 250, 300 books in my Audible library that I actually listen to on a regular basis because I knew I was behind the power curve. I wasn't getting the results that I wanted in life. So I went on this mission of unlearning and relearning, unlearning and relearning. And I had to stack the deck. I had to create the probability of success by putting myself in different circles, reading different material, joining organizations, businesses, groups that made me uncomfortable. Like I keep talking about the network marketing business that I joined some years ago. I'm talking about all the books that I read. I've went to churches. I've got around mentors. I've hired business coaches because I had to unlearn some of my initial programming. And not saying that where I come from they're not good people. But if I'm trying to be a plumber in my family, all they do is dig ditches. Well, I'm never going to learn how to be a plumber if I stay around the people that dig ditches. And so now, when I unlearn and I relearn, now I can go back to my family and say, hey, if you dig this way, we can have the plumbing go that way. And so now we have synergy. But if I only stick with my initial programming, I'm always going to be limited. And for some people, that's totally fine. That's right in their bag. But others like me, we're a little different. We want to do things different. We want to experience a different kind of life. Not a better life, but a different way of living. I'm curious. I want to see the world. I want to meet other cultures. I want to understand how to rewire this whole construct of culture that we have. I want to change the narratives that black men aren't good fathers. We're not engaged, that we're not great husbands, that we're not faithful and loyal. I want to break all those stereotypes, not so much for the world, but for my children. I want to be a better example for them. And so my problem with coincidences is when you think of a coincidence, it's something that's out of your control. It's something that I'm praying for a miracle, but the problem can be solved. Go fix it. I'm waiting on God. Why are you waiting on God? God said, greater work shall you do. I heard a guy say one time in church that we treat God like he's Santa Claus. Like he's the universal Toys R Us, and we just ask for what we want all the time. When the fact of the matter is, if you truly believe that God is the creator and he created us in his image, what do you think we're supposed to be doing? Creating our own little worlds in accordance with his world. Greater work shall you do. There are no guarantees in life. You can't guarantee an outcome in most cases, but you can stack the deck. You can change the circles that you run in. You can read different books. You can join associations. You can model your behaviors, your habits after people who have what you want to have or do what you want to do. Probability is very real. Divine order to me, brick by brick, is that innate thing that we have. If you look at a LeBron James or a Tiger Woods or a Jamon Glover, I knew early in life, it's a funny story. I wanted to be two things. I wanted to be either a preacher or a garbage man. Wild. I wanted to be either a preacher or a garbage man. And it was a reason for it. My uncle was a sanitation worker out of New York State, which they're unionized. So imagine the 80s. Hip hop was still just a fun party music kind of vibe. But the artists was rocking gold chains, they were driving Cadillacs, having fun though. And my uncle would come home every summer. He's pushing the caddy. He got the gold chains, the gold rings. He looked like the richest person I'd ever seen in person. He would give us money. And I'm like, yo, Uncle Jane, what you do? I want to do what you do. He like, boy, I dump trash all day. I'm thinking, I can dump trash. I do it free now. Just ask my mama. I can make that kind of money. But then the summertime hit and I started trying to empty people's trash cans in the community. Nah, that's not what I was called to do. That is not my ministry.
Another one.
That is not my ministry. Nope. But just right down the street, the pastor of Spring Street Missionary Baptist Church, Reverend James, is it James Garnett? Garnett or Barnett? But I would watch him pour out of his soul every week, helping people. He was the old school pastor that would really go visit the sick, the shut in every week. And my great grandmother, would cook him family Sunday dinner. And I would just sit in awe watching how his desire to see people saved, to help people through tough times, it inspired me. And I saw the respect that he was given because of the service he gave. And I wanted that. But I stuttered real bad. I talked super fast. And I didn't think anybody would listen to me. So I kind of went away from that for a very long time. But then one day I started stacking the deck. See, Tiger Woods and LeBron James, they were in a family or an environment that fostered their natural gift. And so they were able to realize it much sooner. They was able to find the level of greatness much earlier than most of us. Most of us don't come from the environments that nurture our gifts because they're stuck in survival so much. And our gifts are not always apparent. As a parent's job is to identify a child's strengths and then push them more into those strengths. But I think a lot of times we focus on the shortcomings and the weaknesses and we criticize them, tearing down the self-esteem. So I got a busy weekend, so I won't be before you too long today. But what I will say, oh yeah, I just caught that. My bad, Craig. Shout out to that defensive team. Yes, sir, man. I didn't know to be born. Hey, you a conqueror, bro. You an overcomer. You are a winner, best in your class. And you come as a fighter. You come with all that programming, and it just needs to be nurtured. It just needs to be nurtured. So now, where does that leave us for today? Where does that leave us for today? I am so happy and excited to be with you today. As I go into my anniversary weekend This is also the mark of my first week as a live streamer. So shout out to the morning motivation. Oh man. And I thank you for all your participation, all your comments. And I'm so happy and excited. I'm so happy and excited that I can learn, I can unlearn, I can relearn. I'm so happy and excited that favor follows me wherever I go. I'm so happy and excited to live in a country where I can pursue all of my dreams. I'm so happy and excited that I have not been forsaken, because I am more than enough. I won the greatest race in history. There's never been an Ironman competition more challenging than conception. I'm grateful not just for my story, but I'm also grateful for your story. I'm grateful that you're here with me on this journey. I'm grateful for every challenge, every victory. And I'm also grateful that success doesn't come just from good intentions. Because we all have good intentions most of the time. But I'm grateful and I'm happy and excited that success comes from deliberate action. And that's something that we all can do. We don't have to come from the best families. We don't have to have the best education. We just got to be deliberate in what we do. We got to see what we want here, create a plan to go get it, and then go get it. That's why there's people that aren't as good as you, aren't as talented as you, don't look as good as you, don't have your energy, but they outwork you. They go out every day and they make stuff happen. And sooner or later, the momentum kicks in. Oh, I got one of those. And then they blow up because they took deliberate action. So, great show. I got to get ready to get up out of here. Got a lot of things to do. It's the freaking weekend, baby. Y'all go get some self-care in. Go fishing. Get your nails done. Get your hair done. Celebrate life. Because the higher you raise your vibration, the higher you raise your energy, the better outcomes you will have. The more attractive you will be to other people, other opportunities. Because people want to do business with people they like. Be likable. Don't be off in the corner, under a stage. Inside joke. Haha. Let people see the greatness that is you. Because you're a winner. You're an overcomer. You're a conqueror. The fact that I can hear you and see you today tells me all I need to know about you. So, final shout out. Shout out to my beautiful wife. 1 year. Oh, man. I'm so excited. So excited. Thank you, Bobbyette. Love you, baby. King Dom, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you, Craig G. Shout out that chick, Yo, and Brick by Brick. You guys hold me down. I appreciate it. We're going to build an amazing thing here. We're going to create some networks, and we're going to change our culture, our community. We're going to do some amazing work. So you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday morning. Is this really happening? Yes, sir, it is.